Hello, Patricia, and welcome
Hello,
to the
Gabriela.
space. I'm glad to be here with you. And this is the first interview and documentation. Inspired to document what you are going through and what you are creating in Ontree Center. And I was invited to be with you in that discovery space and that unfolding space about what is alive for you and what is bubbling, what is transforming, what is challenging in co-creating a living center for arching and a new culture to flourish within you and also in other people. And
Mm,
this is the first interview of several other ones that will come the next weeks with different integrants in different participants of Ontree. Today I'm here with you, with Patricia, the first one, the courageous one. And I welcome you into speaking what is alive in your heart right now.
thank you, Gabriela. Okay, so when I started to think about what I wanted to talk about, what the first thing was like why at my age I chose Ontree. I just want to say I want to say a little bit about that. And um, so I lived in modern culture and I had a beautiful house and garden. And through the process of different trainings and over 2 or 3 years, there was something about life being predictable, life being comfortable, and mm, the richness that I experienced in trainings. I wanted it to continue. I wanted it to be part of my daily life. So when Anna used to come over and do trainings in Motueka, and we'd sit around the table and we started sort of visioning about Ontree, and that was the beginning. And then fortunately, Renee, my partner, we both had a yes for this adventure. And once we had a yes in a really short space of time, like in 6 months, really, we'd sold our house. I'd I'd left my job. Um, Renee, and yeah, she was sort of leaving hers too, as she had done it, and everything that had given me value and importance, my beautiful garden, my the neighbors and friends, proximity to family, all those things. It was like, okay, we're going somewhere else. And we landed in Golden Bay. Oh, first there was a transition period of, well, it was all a big transition period, actually. We went from our spacious home and garden to a bus, and that had its challenges for 4 months, living the two of us in a bus. And from there, we went to Golden Bay. Yeah, not to Ontree yet, but to Golden Bay. And in the year of Golden Bay and before, also there was lots of looking for the land and thinking, yeah, this is it. And somehow, often at the very last minute, when we thought this is it, Echo would intervene, and it was like, okay, it's not it. Let's start again. But during that process, there was a lot of, I think the clarity, lots of things happened. The clarity began of, mm, we, of what we wanted, like, not, it was important that we're not, don't have close proximity to neighbors. That became pretty obvious. And we all wanted clean water and, as much as possible, a pretty clean environment. And the
Mm.
other thing that happened during that time is is that other people joined the group, and we'd have convergences where we met for 2 or 3 days, and the glue started to form between us, and the context, I guess, of what this is all about.
In your experience of the unfolding of the group and the context, what are some elements that you would name as part of this glue that creates this glue?
For me, it gradually, like seeing how everyone has their particular knacks, or their their particular game worlds, or whatever, where they are doing what they want to do. So that, and we all have a passions for different bits. That was one thing, and it was valuing myself for what I bring, which doesn't have to look like what everybody else brings. That was a big one for me. And not comparing myself to the others. And what was your question again, Gabriella? Remind me.
The glue. So I heard that you were building that glue over time between the group and also in the context of Ontree Center before you moved to the land.
Yeah.
And I asked what were some of the elements, and I hear that one of them is the diversity of each one bring a really specific piece and quality into the space and game world, and that you're learning to value your piece. What is the piece that you bring?
Yes. Yeah. And learning to not feel pressure that, I've got to be like everyone else. I should be doing trainings. I should be coming up with it was a lot for that about me. The other thing I would say is the intergenerational thing, which was really important. So, really the children kind of bring because they were always part of the convergence. So the children sort of brought a joy and a purity, letting that in. And the elders, which is me, brought sometimes a wisdom and an experience of a full life lived, and I want to say a stillness, but I haven't quite got there yet, but I'm working towards it. And the in between, which was more like the 30, 40-year-olds, bring an energy, a different energy. Bring often a vision, an energy of creativity energy, a strength sometimes. I mean, even a physical strength, like here at Ontree, there's just an example, but there was a tree overhanging the gutter, and anyway, coming close to our room. And years ago, I would have got up there myself with a saw, perched precariously on a pole, and taken that off. But now I don't want to do that so easily. But Tristan hops up there, no sweat, and next minute there it is on the ground. That's just an example.
The diversity of age as well in the group.
Yeah, the diversity of ages. Yeah.
This reminds me of a book I'm reading right now called The Nature and Human Soul from Bill Plotkin. And he brings that each age that is not connected necessarily with the development, but the human development of each age brings a unique gift into the world.
Yes.
And that sometimes the developmental age is not connected with the skills or the phase where the person really is. So sometimes a person is an adult, but she's still developmentally is still in the adolescence. So different, it's not matching necessarily, but each developmental phase, even though it's not on the age that we think it should meet, it brings a specific energy or gift into the
Yes.
and I'm glad to hear that it really meets with what I'm reading in the book, and it seems that you're experiencing that qualities, and he describes exactly the qualities that you are bringing, the purity and the innocence in the children, like this joy and this connection with the spirit and the flowness and the
Yes.
activity of the adults in the wellspring of sourcing and creating things, and in the elders this capacity of wisdom and stillness and more bringing the experience and possibilities from another place than the doing mode. It's more this quality of being and sourcing more from this being state, and being in Ontree, I could definitely witness that when I see you noticing things and being really this noticer of this space and the energy between people and weaving that.
Yes, yes, that, and I like that word weaving, and that's it. I think often the elders notice because they've been there and they've got that experience and the weaving. That doesn't mean they have to do it, and I'm still learning about that because in the past that's what I have done. That much more the lone wolf strategy. So here it's a lot of learning, much more about it's not just about me. It's not going to happen necessarily in my time frame. Yeah, often the pause button has to be hit, and I go because I'm used to actioning it and making something happen now. But because there's a group of us, so much more is involved, and so much more collaboration and communication is needed. And weaving, yeah, weaving the bits together, yeah, I like that.
Mm. So you've been
Yeah,
learning to weave the bits together in this space in different aspects of Ontree.
yeah, 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 yeah. I sort of my antennae notices, so I have an overall picture of lots of things, of what needs to happen and who's doing what, and okay, Jacopo's cutting up firewood. I know I'm coming back to very practical levels, but that's me. He's cutting up firewood, and then and but I think but it has to be a certain length, right? So it's like yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah,
Letting go how it should be for you, like in how it should be.
yeah.
Mm.
Bringing those things to the table, putting them on the yeah, yeah,
And
and yeah.
yes,
Go,
go.
Kathy. No, you got something that you've got
Yeah, I
something
will
there.
shift topic. So did you complete saying what you were saying?
Okay, well, I think the other thing I would say, one of my bright principles is discovery, and this has been a lot about my own personal journey. There's been so much discovery in it, and it just continues, leaving the structure of a life that I created over many years, and the discovery that I'm learning through letting go of what I thought was crucial to have and to hold on to. And I find and another bright principle is actually empowerment. So it's really empowering, and I love that because that's the fuel that I want to bring to others, and I'm not sure how yet, but you know this is a lot of what is my fuel for Ontree.
I think the delivery system is what you are creating for the empowerment and the discovery. Like the delivery system, it's what came in the process I just went through in the revolutionary village on the weekend. I was in this, so every first first Sunday, yeah, every first Sunday of the month, Ontree holds space for a revolutionary villaging, and in this space, Ontree holds a process space, and there's a menu or like a several possibilities from which you can choose from. And I was the one going through on this last Sunday, and
Mhm.
I was crafting and inventing a process that I called completing adolescence, and that I created with Anna and with Eva, and it the whole village, the whole space was holding that process. And in the end of my process, it came that experience of the bright principles or the being always here, and that it comes through the way you're talking as well, and that your attention goes, even though you are in the age you are doing what you're doing because you are empowering more than the human beings. And you also, there's the empowerment comes through you through different delivery systems, and the speaking, I can definitely experience that is one of them, and in you, Patricia. And what I heard also in the beginning of the call is that you're learning to let go that pressure, that the delivery system, it needs to be one in a certain way, like
Yes,
it's
yeah,
holding for healing, an emotional healing process, or trainings, or a picture, and you're letting go of that. And I see you amplifying your field of possibilities to express your bright principles that are much more wider and diverse. And Ontree,
mm,
I see that is a delivery system of your bright principles that you're creating. Wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I want to say something about that process that you did, Gabriella, because yes, I was there, and one of the bits that really landed was that split between that you talked about from when you were young between what you wanted and what you should be, and and um, something about that was so much as the, this is how I should be, but this is how I want to be. And I realized that as it was with you was, well, for me it's been there all my life. And I think it's there for so many people. And so to be able to, this is where I see on the bigger picture of Ontree, of modeling something. Or I mean, there's a lot of people looking at us. A lot of people know we are here, both within even the Golden Bay community, and Motueka, and all the people who've done trainings, and beyond that. And so there's a real opportunity for us to be visible, and and people are curious about Ontree. So this is like the bigger picture for people to, yeah, to be able to feed that curiosity that something else is possible. Here's an experiment that these people are doing, and yeah, something else is possible.
Hmm. And what would you say that comes next, or that is it's on your realm, that is next to you in the creation of Ontree, Patricia?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good question. What next? And I was going to say, well, we'll see, but I'll say more. Um, you know, we'll see. I have a big, well, there's a pull towards working with young people, and I really felt that after I've worked with young people previously, and where when you went through that process with adolescence, leaving adolescence again, that was like, ah, this is such a I was going to say empty, but this is such a gap, something like that. Young people go through that prison of school, and then what? And again, back to what I said earlier, this wanting something. This is what I have to be. This is what I should be. This is what everybody says has to happen, but it's not really what I want to do. So out of touch. So society does not feed that being at all, and I don't really know exactly what, but there's a pull towards something, collaboration somehow with young people.
I get chills in me listening to you because I last week I got this question. I'm missing team, so I'm creating the 18 What Now project for a while, and I'm working on the website now. I decided to just do a blog because I was putting pressure on me to, to create what are the services, what are the workshops that I want to offer, and it's not a life that in me now. What is a life for me now is writing. I'm writing a lot, and I want to put it out. And then one question that came when I was writing was, who is my team to create that? Like, who is on fire or who is inspired to create a culture for that phase of life, for that aspect of life, that aspect of growing up? Because it's very different aspect of growing up than in other phases of life. And so I feel glad to hear that you are inspired about that. And I will talk with you another time specifically about that because I
Right.
got that imprint of the answer of echo that you might be one of this person.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just to say more about that, I mean, I spent years working in a high school, and so I so see that gap and that trying to fit in but not really wanting to fit in, and then that almost panic when they get to the end of high school, and it's like, well, what now? What next? And there's no container for them. It's and it's really sad. So yeah, I want to be on your team, Gabriella. And this is where I see my role or my place a lot in Ontree, is being on people's team. And this is part of being an elder, is being on people's team.
Thank you, Patricia, for your words and sharing with me and with whoever will watch how it's going for you.
Thank you, Gabriella. It's been really cool to be able to have this happening, that we're myself, and then there'll be others. We're talking about where we are with Ontree. Yeah, it's exciting. Thank you.
See you next time in about 10 weeks when I will keep going with you the next round.
Yeah.
We'll see you again in other ways, but in that
Yeah.
space. So
Yeah. We'll see what emerges. We'll see. Okay. Bye-bye.
goodbye.